So I've been sitting here for the past 5 minutes trying to just hit play or record, and I finally did it. So, first video, this is all about why I'm going on a weight loss journey over 40. It's hard to think about losing weight at this point in time in my life because there are so many things that are on your plate or are on my plate. And I've promised my parents at one point in time that I would go on this journey with them. So let me explain my story. My name's Kathy. And this is For Veggie's Sake. And I have decided that it's finally time to really get serious about losing some weight. I started gaining weight probably, I don't know, my senior year of high school. I remember my junior year, I had to weigh myself for a physics class. And I was 176 then. I didn't think I was fat. I didn't feel fat. Nobody really said anything. But then I noticed my senior year, I started to put the weight on. And I've never really been able to take it back. Now, there have been a few times over the course of my adulthood that I was able to lose weight. Those times were basically when I was doing a whole food plant-based diet. Back around 2000s, I learned about John McDougall. I read his book, The Starch Solution. I think it was The Starch Solution. It might have been another one. But still, John McDougall. And for about 6 months, I ate potatoes and vegetables, and I lost weight. I felt amazing. I was riding my bike, and it worked. And then I stopped. And that is the story of my life. Do something for a little bit, stop. Do something again for a little bit, stop. Just no consistency. Thus YouTube. I figure, hey, if I put it out there for the world to see, maybe we can build up a little bit of a community, and maybe I'll actually stick with it. My husband is incredibly supportive of this journey. He just doesn't want to be whole food plant-based himself. He likes his meat and potatoes. I don't blame him. He's a good cook. But I know that for me, I'm battling high blood pressure a little bit. My knees hurt. My back aches. I am not a small girl. This morning being 271, I've tried to pass 271 and get away from it so many different times. It has got to change. I have to change. The only person that can make that happen is right here. So, lower weight is going to help with the back problems and with the knee issues. I work for a delivery company and I struggle to get upstairs and get down. And it doesn't necessarily look like it, I don't think, when I'm doing it, but I feel it in my knees. I feel the ache. And quite frankly, I don't want to have a knee replacement when I'm 80. I don't want to go through that. I might have to anyway. I might have done too much damage, but I don't think so. I think the body can heal when you give it the proper nutrition. And I've got my little notes here, so if I keep on looking down, that's why I'm looking down. I know that when I do whole food plant-based, I feel so much better. Here's the fun part. This is where the promise to my parents came in. They're in their 70s, early 70s. About, I don't know, 10 years ago, roughly, my dad came down with diabetes. He was a long distance runner. He ran marathons and 5Ks and the whole 9 yards. And he did that for a long time. My mother has high blood pressure, had high blood pressure, really. I mean, they're walking her off her medication. And I got the book, Mastering Diabetes. And I gave it to my dad and I said, hey, I've read this. I've done the whole food plant-based diet before. I know it makes me feel better. I promise you that if you do Mastering Diabetes, then I promise to actually do the diet with you. Well, 2 years later, I still haven't completely committed. Haven't lost weight. I do feel a little better. There's a lot of days where I am whole food plant-based, and then there's the days that I eat, the meats and the cheeses and the candy. Oh my goodness, the candy. Can anybody relate to the candy? It's horrible. I love candy. I don't want to get diabetes. I want to make sure that I get rid of the blood pressure that's too high completely. And I know from everything that I've read, seeing my parents walk through this, that it can go away. So After I gave him the book, about a year later, he got a letter from Dr. Neil Barnard doing a caring study on diabetes. He wanted to take a group of people with diabetes, put them on a whole food plant-based diet, and see how they did with it. They taught him to cook. They had classes every week. My dad's A1C, I think, went from something ridiculous like 6.7 down to 5.7. It might even be a little bit lower now because he's been on it. Both my parents lost weight, and they're, like I said, they're in their 70s, and they've both been walked back on medication. They are living a very high quality life because they changed one thing. Yes, it's hard to change. Yes, it's hard to give up favorite food groups, but they did it. They gave up the meat, the cheese, the dairy, and the oil. And a lot of sugar. I mean, honestly, they don't cook with much sugar, like, ever at all. And if it is, it's usually like maybe a little bit of maple syrup to, give a little sweetness. But that's what they did. And their lives have changed. And my dad's out working in his garage on his old Army Jeep that he has. My mom feels so much better. She, at least from what I understand, she feels great. I should ask her that very specifically again. But she did it. She went with him to help him with the diet. And instead of just being a diet now, it's a way of life. They'll never go back because they don't have to have the medications. They don't have to have the side effects. That's what I want for me. When I was a kid, we had horses. I used to ride horses. I can't get up on a horse now. I would love to. If I ever had the opportunity to ride, I would love to ride again. But I can't get up on a horse. And that's, kind of sad to admit. Playing disc golf. Now I'm in Minnesota, in the land of disc golf, and it wears me out. And it shouldn't. It's a fun game. You can play at very high energy. Even at my low energy, I'm getting worn out. Traveling. Being able to have the seat belts and be comfortable, and the clothes, and having the clothes actually fit, and watching with dread at every time I go in to go buy clothes, I have to get just a little bit bigger, or I have to try it on to make sure it really fits, and most of the time it doesn't. It's really discouraging, and I'm sick of it. I'm done. This is not a whine. It's nobody's fault but my own. My whole theory on life, and I'm not the first person that's put this out here, but I'll just repeat what I've heard other people say because it's true. I ate my way into this mess, and now I get to eat my way out. The other thing with whole food plant-based on the eating part, I get to eat. It's not a starvation diet. It's not something that you have to stay away from food for hours and hours on end. Is intermittent fasting good? Yes. But when I get to eat, I can actually fill up and not feel guilty about it. Because it's low fat, high carb. Carbs are your friend, they're not your enemy. If you're eating correctly. And we'll get into that in later videos. And I'm looking really, really forward to being able to do this with you. I want to be able to build community. I want us to be able to get together and encourage each other on the weight loss journey. I've tried keto. Keto doesn't make me feel good. It made me feel kind of rotten. And I didn't do it very long. Maybe I would have gotten past that phase, but no. There was a spray that my mom and I tried for a while, and I lost weight, and then I put it back on. Whenever I do whole food plant-based, my body just says, thank you. And so that's what I'm going to do. Now, I hope you come and join me on this trip because I want to be able to share this with you. I want to hear your stories. I want to hear what you're doing and how, your struggles are and how your successes are. I want to see people be able to win their health back. Because that's where I'm going. I'm going to win my health back, and I want to do that with you. So, let's do this it's not a job. Let's do this lifestyle change together. Let's go whole food plant-based. Let's get those veggies on our plate. And for veggies' sake, eat more veggies.